Hey guys, welcome back to the Python programming tutorial using Tkinter by Uplatz. So in this program, in this lecture, we will see a very interesting program of how to create a calculator. Okay, so we are focusing on the layout of the calculator. We are also writing some functions for it, but our main focus will be on the layout, the design of the calculator, and how to create the design. Okay, so complete program we will try to build, but since it's a very big program, so if some methods don't work, we will try to do it later, but at least I will show you the exact layout of how to build a calculator. Okay, so first let's understand what is required to make a calculator. We need a frame, correct? Then we need buttons. Okay, then if we are writing the functions also, we need the evaluation of expressions. So let's see how to do them. So create the root, then create a geometry, and here I'm introducing you a new thing, that is resizable. It means if you don't want to maximize or reset the dimension of your window, you can use this root dot resizable 0, 0. That means it will not be able to expand itself. Okay, you cannot maximize it. So for that I will write root dot resizable of 0, 0. Then the title I will give it as calculator. Okay, so you saw that it is not resizable. Then three important functions to make a calculator. Okay, so what are those? The button click function continuously updates the input field whenever you enter a number. Okay, so this is the first function, button click. Three important functions to make a calculator action. So button click. So as I told, this continuously updates the input field whenever you enter a number. Okay, so define button click of item. So we need a global expression here. So what you enter should be converted to the string. So when you want to calculate something, you enter so many numbers. So all those numbers should become this expression, correct? So expression is what? It should go on updating itself with the new item you enter. That is expression equals expression plus string of item. Then we are using this input text dot set this expression. Okay. The next function is button clear, which clears the input field. So again, we need this global expression. So to clear the input field, we need to have the empty character, correct? So input text dot set to empty. Then we'll have a next function, the equal, the button equal calculates the expression present in the input field. So define button underscore equal. So we are using this eval function here to evaluate the expression, correct? So result equals convert this evaluated expression to string. That becomes a result. Result equals string of eval expression. Then we set the input text to the result. So we have got this first output. There's nothing in this right now. So next we are making some frames in the calculator. We will make two frames. One is for the input frame and one is the button frame. So whatever we input should be of string variable. Okay. The entered numbers should be of string variables. So we will write input text equals string variable. Input frame equals frame on the root. It will have some height and width. the border will be 0. Highlight background equals black. Then highlight color, we will write it as black. Then highlight thickness equals 1. So we will pack this using the pack function on top. So this frame will hold many things. So this is the input frame for the input field. Next, we will create frame for the we are creating the entry inside this frame what we have just created. So input field equals entry. This should be on the input frame. Okay. Font, then size, then text variable equals input text. So what we enter the text, we have created this variable input text. Width equals 50. So this is the entry button. So we will use the grid function to pack this input field dot grid row 0 column 0, that is on the frame what we have created. Then we will also use the pack function. We are using a iPad Y option, that is internal padding, to increase the height of the input field. Okay. Okay. So next, creating a button frame for the button. Okay. So buttons frame equals frame on the root, width and height. So you can use the same thing to create a calculator anytime. Just the functions are a bit doubtful and complicated. We'll try to do that also. Buttons frame equals frame of root, width comma height comma background equals gray. So okay, so we have created something. Now we will start to create the first row. The first row of the calculator, we will try to have the button for division and to clear. Okay. So first row will have the clear option and the button, the divide option. So both are buttons. So clear equals button on the buttons frame. So this should come on the buttons frame. With the options, text equals C, and foreground equals black, width equals 32, height equals 3. So the width should be bigger. You will see in the output, the border equals 0. So the color will be #EE, meaning the gray color. Okay. Cursor equals hand 2. So when we click the command, when we click the clear button, we should call the command, that is the button clear, what we have defined above. Okay, so that command should be invoked here. So for that, command equals lambda so the function name was button clear. So let's pack this button using the grid function. So on the buttons frame, it should be row 0 and column 0. Okay. So this was the first button. The next button would be the divide button next to this clear button. So we have done a mistake here. We should have done everything inside the button. So, okay. So from here till end, everything should be inside button. So divide equals button on the buttons frame, that is same. Then text should be different. Then foreground can be same. Width can be less. Width can be 10 and height can be 3. So it will not have any border length, that will be 0 as it is. Then background can also be the same, that is gray. Then rest everything is same, only the command we should call the button click function. So for the button click, if you remember, we passed an argument that is item. So for this, the argument will be the division symbol. Okay, then this should be on the same row, but the column should be greater. So we'll make the column number as 3. Remaining everything can be same, row 0 and column 3. We don't want column span. Okay. We can try to execute this and see the output. You will better understand. Okay, so we have done this. It looks good. Now this is the first row. The second row should also be on the buttons frame. This row will have 4 buttons, 3 numbers and 1 operation. Okay, so when we go from bottom to top, we cover 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, correct? Then the upper row will have the numbers 7, 8, 9 plus 1 operation. So we can put the multiplication, the multiply operation in this row, the second row. So 7 equals button. So let me copy from the previous button. Okay. This also should be on the button frame. The text equals 7. Foreground can be same. Width can be same. Width should be 12. Then height, border, background, everything can be same. If we change the background color, let's make it as white. The background color can be white. So for the white color, the code is #FFF. Okay, FFF. Then cursor can be same. Then the command should be the button click. the item, the argument, the value here should become 7. Okay, so it's button click, inside the bracket we can write 7. Okay, so this should be the next row, means the row number should be 1, column should be 0, rest everything can be same. We don't want column span. After 7 we can do 8, the number 8 on the calculator. So we'll just copy the previous button. Okay, so this will be on the buttons frame, the text will be 8, rest everything will be same, only the command we have to write button click of 8. Okay, then this should be the next button, that is column will become 1. Okay, so the next button is for 9. Okay, so here you can see the buttons. So 7, 8, 9, the final one is multiplication. So this is the button for multiplication. So lambda click, the star is a string, so write it in the quotes. Then the row number, column number. For the 9 button, the row number was 1 and column number was 2. Here the row number is 1, column should become 3. Okay. The pad Y puts some space between the button widgets and the borders of the frame and the borders of the root window. Okay, so this is the use of pad Y. There you can see how they have aligned properly. When we had not created the 9 and multiplication, there was more space between 7 and 8. Now it looks perfect, correct? So these are nothing but buttons. So we are doing it. The remaining things we will continue in the next lecture. Okay, thank you.